So let's look at packages. What is a package? A package is a mechanism to encapsulate a group of programming units. Okay, so applications might at times need integration of some third-party libraries or plugins. Every language has a mechanism for managing external packages, like Maven or Gradle for Java, Nuggets for .NET, and NPM for Node.js, etc. The package manager for that is pub. Alright, so just like all these languages have these package managers, alright, and all these languages and libraries have these package managers. The package manager for that is pub. Okay, so and it says pub helps us install packages in the repository. The repository of packages can be found at this website. So there's a repository. Okay, what is a repository? A repository is just a place where all our resources, all our packages are kept and can be accessed. Okay, so that's just what it is, and that has a package repository. Okay, so let's say I'm building an app where I'm building an app that has a music player or a video player. All right, now I don't know of any libraries in that has a music or a video player. All right, so what I can do is I can search for a package. Now what I mean by libraries, that the Dart SDK has a whole lot of libraries, alright, for anything you want to do using the Dart programming language. For instance, we have the math library. Okay, and how we import libraries the same way we import files. Okay, so we have this library called DartMath, and inside this library we have some methods, some mathematical methods. All right, we have mathematical methods and a whole lot of stuff, like I can find the cosine of any number. It also has the following: it has sine, it has tan, it even has log. All right, log reading. So all these are mathematical functions in this library. Okay, so we have several other packages that do several other things. Okay, but some of them, that doesn't have everything. The Dart SDK doesn't have everything. Otherwise our system, our computers won't be able to carry everything, every single thing that can be implemented programmatically using that. So that is why there's a repository for external packages. Okay, now if you visit this website, it will bring you here, pub.dev. So if you want to visit here, you can actually also visit pub.dev. All right, and let's say I want to have a video player in my app. Okay, so I have several packages that I can borrow from, that I can add to my project and use. All right, so we have a number of them here. If you want to implement something like a chart, maybe a line chart or a bar chart or a histogram, right, you can just search for the charts package, right, and you see some of them. This one is actually outdated. It was last updated 10 years ago, so we're not even going to pay attention to it. All right, the one I use for my apps is Syncfusion Flutter Charts. All right, so this is the package. Now if you open any of these packages, right, it will bring you here. It will bring you to this page where you're going to see the name of the package, the current version of the package, right? When last it was published, and even the publishers. This was published by syncfusion.com. And then under this readme, right, you will see the different details of the package, okay, the overview, all the different kinds of charts that can be implemented using this, the table of contents, the chart features. Now you can see all these are different kinds of charts that can be implemented using this package. All right, you have the line charts, area charts, spline charts, and fast line charts. This looks like the type that we have in trading trading apps. All right, and then there are several of them. All right, so this is just a readme. It gives you an overview of everything that has to do with this package, and this is not all. Right, there's still more. This is just one type of chart. Okay, all right, all these types of charts. Yeah, there's still more that you can do with this. You can implement axis type charts. You can implement user interaction charts, right, and so on, dynamic updates, and so on and so forth. So there is this, and then the package I want to talk about in this lesson is the package for making network requests. Okay, so one popular package like that is the HTTP package, which is this one. And yeah, there's this package. It has a lot of likes, a lot of downloads. This is how to know what package to use, right, in case you're confused on which package to use, because there are a whole lot of other package, and there are a whole lot of packages for making network requests. But if you want to know the best package, right, look at this data, likes and downloads. But in spite of that, I still prefer this, right? I use this package, the Dio package. Okay, so let's look at this. Now, since this is a powerful HTTP networking package for Dart and Flutter, right? So if you want to make HTTP requests, let's assume we are building an app, a social media application like Facebook, all right? And then we want to be able to fetch posts, delete posts, make posts, and update posts, and even like posts, all right? So of course, in our app we are going to need the ability to connect to the internet and interact with a server, all right, like Facebook server. Facebook has a server, all right, so we're going to have to interact with the server. The server is like the back end, all right. So what do? Well, what we should do is first and foremost have a package or a library. Now, I don't know of any DAS libraries that enables us to connect with a server, a network server, all right, or a backend, but I know of packages, and Dio is one of those packages. In fact, at least it's the one I used, all right. So if you want to know how this package is used exactly, you can come to this example, all right, and this is an example of a GET request. Now, what is a GET request? A GET request is a request that is made to get information from the server, like loading your Facebook post, for example. When you open your app, as soon as you open your app, right, you see a sort of loading indicator, right? You know that something is loading. What is happening is that this GET method is it has been called, right? So the app is waiting for the posts to load before displaying it to you, right? So there are actually other methods like that. So in this place, let's read this. It says the package metadata is defined in a file called pubspec.yaml. YAML is the acronym for yet another markup language. The pub tool can be used to download all various libraries that an application requires. Every Dart application has a pubspec.yaml file which contains the application dependencies to other libraries and metadata of applications. Alright, so what it's saying in essence is that we must have this file pubspec.yaml in order to add and use a package. Alright, so I'm going to create a Dart application right now. Right, all this while I've been creating Dart files, but now I will need to create a Dart application in order to demonstrate this. Okay, and inside this file pubspec.yaml, we're going to have something that looks like this. All right, we'll see it in a moment. So I'll open my terminal and I'll move to my desktop environment, and let me go into Dart files. Okay, I'll move into my Dart files folder, which is this. Alright, I'm in my desktop environment. This is my Dart files folder. Alright, so I want to create my Dart application here. So what I'll do is I will just say Dart create. What this Dart create does is it creates a Dart application. Alright, and then Dart create, and then the name of the application I want to create. I'll call this my app, and now it has been created. Alright, so you're going to find it here, right here. So what I can do is I can open it in VS Code by writing a command. I'll just say code my app. Alright, and it's going to open up in Visual Studio Code. Alright, so this is our Dart application now. Alright, and this file, this pubspec.yaml file, is the file I was talking about. So right here, if you come and read this, come to installing and read what is here. Okay, it tells you that you can add this dependency, this package, to your library by either writing this command or copying and pasting it under dependencies. Alright, so I already have a package here, path. Okay, so I can either remove it or leave it. Okay, because I'm not using it. So if I decide to leave it, I can just come under this package and add a new package. So I'm going to add I'm going to add dir. Okay, now you may ask, what is this number? Okay, this number is simply the current version of this package that we have. Okay, this is the name of the package, and then this is the version. Okay, you can also find it up here. All right, so I'm adding it, and I'll hit save. So Dio has been added to my project. Okay, so I will now come here under this lib folder. I have my file. Okay, my main file, which the name is my app.dart, and inside this file I just have this function, calculate function. All right, and it doesn't do anything. It's just here. All right, it's just here as just here by default. All right, this is just a function that calculates that multiplies 6 and 7 and returns the value. We don't need it. All right, what we actually need here is a main function first, and then we'll need to create an object of DIO, of this DIO package. All right, we need to create an object of the DIO package, which we just imported, so which we just added to our project. But before doing that, we have to import it. All right, so I'm going to import Dio, and we'll have to create an object. All right, so using this object now, what I want to do is I want to get some data. Okay, which data? Now if you look here, you see that, okay, let me just do what they did there. Okay, so this, inside this Dio class, I have a get method, okay, which takes a path. What is this path that it takes as argument? It is the website, right? It is, you can see it is a website URL, and this is actually the URL to our backend server. Okay, this is our API. What is an API? I'm going to explain in a moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a website called JSON placeholder. Okay, jsonplaceholder.typecode.com, and what this contains is, it just contains data. All right, mock data, fake data for testing and prototyping, right? So this, remember, what I'm trying to simulate is a social media post, a social media application, all right, that fetches posts and displays to the user. Okay, we're also going to have some other methods like edit, the ability to edit posts, the ability to delete posts, right, and the ability to make posts, or the ability to post, to make posts on our own. But for now, I just want to fetch. All right, and this website actually contains some data, contains posts. Okay, so this is just a list of posts. This is comments, a list of comments that we are dropped on posts. We have albums, we have photos, right? We have to-dos, I think a list of people's to-do list or something like that, and then the list of users in the app. Right, so let me just look at posts. Now these posts are in Latin. Okay, I can translate to English, and then what do you see here? This data, if you look up here, you can see that it opens up with a square bracket and closes with a square bracket. Okay, closes with a square bracket, and inside we have maps. So this is a list of maps. All right, so our data is, our posts are in the form of lists of maps. Okay, so this is the user ID, the ID of the user that made the post. Okay, and then this is the post ID, the ID of the post itself, and then this is the title of the post and the body of the post. All right, so I'm just going to copy this, and then I'll paste it in here. So this method is going to fetch our posts. Now we actually have other methods, like if we want to make our own posts, right? We want to upload a post, we have the post method. If we want to edit, we have the patch method. If we want to delete, we use the delete method, right? But we are only interested in getting, so we'll just use this. Okay, and if I run this code, I'm not going to have anything printed. Why? Because there's no print statement here. I'm not printing anything, right? So I can wrap this in a print statement, just print the whole of this, but I'm not going to do that because it is better to store it in a variable, right? It's better to store this in a variable and print it rather than printing it directly. So I'm going to store it in a variable called response. Okay, so I'm making a request to this server, right? To this server, and the request is coming back with a response. I'm getting a response. All right, I'm making a request and I'm getting a response. Okay, and because of that, the data type of this is, even though my data is a list of map, all right, the data type of this response is of this type, response dynamic. Okay, that is what I'm getting back. That is what I'm storing in this variable. Okay, not a list.map, not a list of map, but some data of the type feature response. Now we are going to look at feature. Like I said, we are going to look at feature in the next class. All right, and just as they did here, I will have to await. All right, so I'm going to await also, await, and because I'm using await inside this function, I have to mark it as asynchronous. Okay, so we are going to look at this async and await in the next class. Don't miss it. So now I'm going to try and print response. And when I do, you're going to see the data returning. Now this is it. These are our posts, right? Our post data. So if I try to do something with this, let me try and get this first item in the list of map. Right, this first item. If I pass in 0 here, I'm going to get an error. Why? Because it says this operator, right, isn't defined for the type response dynamic. So this is of type response, right? And you cannot do this operation. You cannot carry out this operation on data of type response. It will either have to be a list or a string. All right. So to access the data that is inside this response, that is coming back in this response, okay, I have to do response.data. Now I have the data and I can do whatever I want with it, right? I can now access the first item in the data, or the 10th item, or the second item, or the 5th item. Okay, and I can even access the title if I want, the title of this post. Okay, let me access the first, and then I'm going to pass in the title key here to access the title. Okay, so this is the title. You can see it's the same. Okay, this is in English. All right, let me refresh this. Yeah, it's now in Latin. Okay, you can see this exact same data here. Okay, and you can fetch the body as well. All right, so that's it for packages. Okay, and we have looked at the DO package in use, right? So next we are going to go into more detail, right? We are going to look at asynchronous programming. Okay, and inside the next lesson, we are going to look at these keywords, async and await. So see you in the next lesson. Thank you. Bye.